meet you. I really wanted to, have you come on the show and tell your story and stuff like that.
Hey, it's nice to be here, man. I thank you for like reaching out to me and giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, so what made you become a martial artist? Like what was the influence behind that?
My dad. My dad is the founder and creator of our style, Red Dragon Karate. My dad was my hero, and I wanted to be around him, so I went to the studio and started learning martial arts.
That and I hate that you guys get excluded out of everything because y'all pretty much as important as the Shakur side of the family as well. I just hate that they don't put y'all like in the movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm just glad people, like it and I enjoy the history and
Valentino, I am so proud of you.
This was like no way that Valentino did this.
He was more talented than the teacher as a little boy.
How he was able to transport us to another place.
The prosecutors had a problem, which is that they had already arrested Valentino.
Valentino probably viewed it as a challenge.
Some of the guards, they're saying, this guy's the real deal.
Attica is a very brutal place.
I said, if you can reclaim your talent, you could reclaim your life.
Valentino was having an out-of-body experience.
To watch it unfold is like watching a maestro for an orchestra.
He just has an unbreakable spirit.
It's one coloring pencil. It's just a phenomenal.
And if you don't know his story, you're going to know it. That's what I'm talking about.
I knew that anyone who deserved to be released out of that place was that man, like that human being.
Yo, welcome to the 1804 Show, Chapter 2. I'm your host, Dollar Will, and this is episode 742. Yeah, so tonight, got a special guest coming to the show. Remarkable man. Man been through so much. And I must say, this man is like a hero of mine, and finna bring him on to the show. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, the 1804 Show Chapter 2 on YouTube, TikTok, all over. So I'm finna invite him in so we can get this popping. But yeah, I've been waiting for this all week. And just excited. I usually have a whole bunch of people on here, but yeah, this guy, his story is so remarkable and it's going to change everyone's lives. Here he is right now. Hold on.
I'm here.
Okay. There we go. Hey, how you doing, bro?
Hey, bro, I'm good. I'm blessed.
That's good.
Okay.
Yes. So my question to you, do you think race played a part in your conviction?
Absolutely. Race almost always plays a part. It's hard for race not to play a part. And Michelle Alexander, who's a legal scholar, said it best. She says, when something is racist, but without racist language, it's hard to prove. Okay?
Correct.
So what they did was this. They had my lawyer, who was a white lawyer, and I had a white judge, and I had a white prosecutor, and I had an all-white jury. Okay?
Ooh.
And they had my lawyer throw the case. Because when you have 8 witnesses clearing you in a confession, it's easy to win a case like that. Okay, but this guy didn't call one single witness to the stand, and I accused him of throwing the case. But of course, everybody thought I was crazy because how's a lawyer going to throw a case? People don't believe lawyers set up their clients. They don't believe lawyers throw cases, you know, and it happens all the time in America, especially when you have a young black man who's poor and can't afford good legal representation. He's stuck with a public defender or someone that is assigned to the case. And what the law states is this: in Gideon Work versus Rainwhite, and I'm just going to speak a little bit about the law. You know, when you're accused of a felony, you're entitled to legal representation. But what it doesn't say is that you're entitled to adequate legal representation. You're just entitled to legal representation. See how tricky the law is?
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be adequate. It just need to be. You just must have a lawyer. Okay. And so what I had was a lawyer. I would have been better off representing myself. And what they did was, and when my lawyer didn't call the witnesses or introduce the confession, in fact, the jury didn't even know another man confessed to this crime. And the reason the guy confessed, because the person that he shot actually had a weapon. And after they arrested me, he went to the police station 2 days later and says, hey, this guy had a weapon and I shot him in self-defense, and the guy you arrested had nothing to do with it. And they told him to leave the police station to get out of there, that they had already made an arrest. They had who they wanted.
Wow.
You know, and anybody needs to look up this case. It's all documented. You just put my name in the internet and everything will pop up. The confession, everything that I'm saying here. A lot of people find it hard to believe.
Yeah, and not to cut you off, it was crazy how I just stumbled upon your documentary, because it was like one night I was just browsing through HBO Max and everything, and the title of your documentary just caught my eye, and I was like, who is this guy? And I never heard of this story or this man. So I just clicked on that and I was just watching it. And I was just very sympathetic, man, because just to be so young and just have your youth taken from you from technicality.
21. Yeah, 21. And they didn't clear this thing up until 27 years later. I walked out at 48 and went in at 21.
Man, that's just really like a damn shame, because I was 21 once, and when I was a kid. So, because a lot of people don't like to really associate 21 years old as being a kid, but you a kid because you just don't know anything about life that. So
your brain is not matured enough.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And there are studies on this.
And it's just the fact, like, you know, you was I don't know if you have any other children, but
yes, I have 2 daughters.
Okay, so you had the youngest daughter, right, when you went in, or she was the oldest one?
So this is crazy. So I had one daughter when I went in, and she was 4 months old. She was 4 months old.
Okay.
So my second daughter was born while I was in prison because I married her mother and we got conjugal visits.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, it's crazy, right?
Hey, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, she was my childhood sweetheart, and we got married. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. We divorced now, but you know we got married at the time.
Yeah, that's cool.
But
That's cool,
I love her to death. I love her to death because she held me down for 7 years, and that's not an easy thing to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always forever grateful for her for that, and I look out for her. If she ever need anything, I got her back at all times.
Yeah, and just being in prison and everything like that, did you face any type of problems or disciplinary action, or what was that like?
Let me say this: there's no way, it's not even humanly possible to do 27 years in prison and not face disciplinary or not, you know, get into fights or have some serious situations take place. You
Okay.
could be a model prisoner and trouble is going to come your way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be somebody that don't like you or somebody that's going to try you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I went through all of that. I had a guy try to cut me with a razor. You know what I'm saying? I had to stab a guy. I went through all of that stuff. And I, you know, I wasn't built for that, you know, but I was strong. And so I had to grow and learn how to survive in there, you know? So we all grow in stages. And I was not, Attica's a very vicious place. I was not going to let nobody take my manhood. I was not going to be nobody's girlfriend. I was not going to be taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? So I had to prove that, look, I'm humble. I'm not starting no trouble with nobody. But guess what? I'm going to defend myself by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I had to go through some stuff, and guys had to see, oh, shit, this guy is not going to be afraid of us. You know, so once I gained my respect, it was smooth sailing to a certain extent because I did not only on a physical gaining respect, because physical with men is being men with the masculinity and all that other pride and the you know what I'm saying, the who can beat who and all this other nonsense. But what I did was I educated myself. I read up to 800 books while in prison, and then I went to college. You know, so what I had become a mentor to many of the guys before it was over with, you know, and when it came to the artwork, I didn't even do any artwork until 7 years into my prison sentence, okay? And I used to draw as a kid. That was my thing. I went to Performing Arts High School as a kid, and I used to draw all the time, but I had totally given it up. I used to paint. I did all of that. I gave it up completely. And so 8 years into my sentence, when all my appeals was denied, my uncle was like, you may have to draw yourself out of jail. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Draw myself out of jail? Yeah, whatever. Right? And he sent me some color pencils and some paper. Okay? And I let the paper and the pencils, you know, sit for a little while. I procrastinated. I didn't get started right away. But I'm sitting in my bed and I'm like, dude, your whole life is gonna be over with. Like, what you gonna do with yourself? You know, utilize your talent. Your uncle might have a point here. And so I drew this little rose on a piece of paper, and the other inmates around me, they was like, you know how to draw? And I'm like, yeah, a little bit. They was like, man, you know how to draw real good. Man, what? Really, man? All these years you ain't never drew nothing? You know how to draw like that? So that gave me the inspiration to keep going. You know what I'm saying? And I'm tell you no lie, right? For the next 20 years, I drew up to 10 hours a day. I never took a day off. When I left prison, I left with over 1,000 drawings. And not only did I leave with over 1,000 drawings, I had educated myself, so I knew what I wanted to do with my artwork. I knew how I was going to market it. You know what I'm saying? I had a business plan, and because when I walked out, I had a lot of media that was trying to interview me, and I had some art people trying to assess my artwork, and they were devaluing my artwork. And I had, you know, studied art history, and I knew the value of my work because I make my pencil drawings look like painting. You seen my work, right?
Yes, sir. Brilliant.
Yeah, so all right. So you're not gonna tell me after I spent 200 hours on this drawing that you about to give me $500 for it? That's just not gonna happen.
Right.
We're not selling none of this artwork. I'm gonna sell it myself. I'll broker my own deals. I'll build my own brand. Okay. So the art world was pretty much mad at me because what they like to do is when they see what makes an artist valuable is the story behind the artist. Then the skill set. Then the amount of works that the artist had. So I had all categories checked off. Nobody had a better bio than me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. And so you're not going to devalue my work. At the end of the day, I started selling works to some of the most famous people on the planet. You dig? And it don't get no bigger than Michelle Obama. You know, and I defied the art world when I sold a $250,000 piece. See where I'm coming from?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So from that, you know, I try to teach artists and just anybody to know your worth. You got to know your worth in this world. Otherwise, people are going to take advantage of you. So, but let's back up to how I got out. Okay. So
Okay.
after 20 years of drawing in Attica, everybody knew me as the artist in Attica. They started naming me, giving me nicknames, Prison Picasso. That's why my documentary is called Prison Picasso. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so the warden came to me. He was like, Valentino, can you draw my favorite golf hole? And I'm like, man, I ain't never golfed. I'm from the east side. I'm from such and such. And we start laughing. Cause I don't even know what a golf course looked like. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But I drew it for him. So when I drew it for him, he was so taken aback by the drawing, you know, and the other inmates was like, damn, man, that's a cool golf course. So I'm like, I'm thinking they gonna think it's corny. You know, like this nigga in here drawing some corny shit. Excuse my language. You know
Oh,
what I'm
you
saying?
good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my neighbor, a white guy, he like Valentino, you need to draw some more golf holes. I said, hell no, I ain't drawing no damn golf hole. You know? And
Yeah.
no, seriously. And then like a week later, I come and I got some Golf Digest magazine on my book. My neighbor then tossed them on my bed, talking about the white guy upstairs used to be a golfer. He got a ton of golf magazines. And he said I can use them or whatever. Anyway, I opened them up. I started seeing some cool images. So I started drawing golf courses every single day because when I dive into something, I don't deviate. I just stick with it. So all I was doing was golf course drawings for about a year straight. Imagine that. And I got the guards, I got the inmates, everybody coming by to see the latest golf course drawing that I done did. I started out doing 5x7 small drawings. I went all the way to like 60x90 drawing. It wouldn't even fit in my cell. Imagine that.
Man.
The officer just opened my gate and let me draw outside the cell because the drawing wouldn't fit inside the cell. That's how big it was. And so I started reading the columns in the Golf Digest magazine, and there was a column called Golf Saved My Life by a writer named Max Adler. And every month, Max would showcase someone who was going through a trying time in their life, and golf was the only time they felt better is when they went on the golf course. So I'm like, shit, that's what's happening to me. I'm drawing golf courses in the prison cell, and I've been in prison 20 years, and I'm drawing golf courses, and it's making me feel better. You know, I have friends that committed suicide in there. I had people that died all around me all the time. So I knew I felt, and I had friends that lost their minds. So with 20 years in prison, I felt like I was on borrowed time. Like, how much time I got left before I lose my mind?
Right.
You know, but the one thing I had going for me is that I had converted to Islam and I became a Muslim. All right. And so praying 5 times a day gave me faith, it gave me strength, it gave me hope. I understood our creator and I understood that I was going through something and it was part of my destiny.
Yeah.
It was part of my destiny to go through this. You know what I'm saying? Go through this pain and suffering. And I believe that God was taking me through it for a reason. He had a purpose for me. Okay? And that kept me going. So I sent the letter to Golf Digest magazine with one of the drawings. They couldn't believe the story and they printed it. They wrote about it 2012. Next thing you know, everybody wanted to come interview me while I was in Attica. The media, Golf Channel, NBC, Forbes magazine had a section on me. Forbes magazine, imagine I'm in jail. 8 people from England came to interview me. I was doing an interview almost every month. Okay? And then Georgetown University got involved, and I had me a legal team now. Because the evidence was there that I didn't commit the crime. They knew that. Now the world know I didn't commit the crime. You see where I'm coming from?
Yes, sir.
So then the students got on board, Georgetown students. I started working with them every day on the case because nobody knew the case like me. And plus I studied the law. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have no choice. It was all about survival. So when the students got involved, we worked every day, and then they decided they want to do a documentary, like a short documentary on my story, on my life. So I said, okay. And I had lawyers at the time. I had some really good lawyers. I said, I want y'all to reach out to the prosecutor and see if they'll participate in this documentary. You know what I'm saying? If they're so sure that I committed this crime, ask them will they do an interview. My lawyers thought it was a bad idea. I said, no, it's a good idea. I had 26 years in by then. I said, I don't have nothing to lose. So the students went and interviewed the DA, and they called them up, and they agreed to do an interview. The prosecutor that prosecuted my case. So they got all this evidence, and this dude don't think the students is prepared. I made sure those students is prepared. They became my students, and I prepared them. You know, they knew the whole trial, the police reports, the statements, everything. And so, but what I wanted them to do is ask the prosecutor what happened to the testing of my clothes when they took my clothes. So they got this fool on video, and they said, well, what happened to Valentino's clothes? You tested them to see if he fired a weapon right after the shooting. What happened? God touched this fool's heart at that moment. On camera, he says, yeah, we tested the clothes and they all came back negative.
Wow.
Right? That he didn't shoot a weapon. And so that was it. That's all I needed. I walked out of jail 3 months later.
You know what's crazy, bro, is that your story reminds me of two movies, The Hurricane and Life.
But check this out. Check this out. So I'm about to do a movie with, and I ain't gonna say their name yet because they're gonna announce it. They're a big time Hollywood actor, and they doing my movie. Okay. And I was just on the phone with them last night, and so we've been going back and forth for the last year. So they just got a Hollywood writer to write the script for the movie, and everything will be finalized in the next 60 days. So
Congratulations.
A movie coming out. Thank you. A movie coming out. Yeah, and the documentary is going to be dropped soon too. I don't know when, but that's going to come out soon.
Yeah. I just really sit back and just really think about just how many other young black males go through this exact same thing because people just racist or they lazy or they're just incompetent.
Well, the thing about it is this. Let me just say this. So it's estimated that there's 5% people that's innocent in our justice system.
Yeah.
Okay. So if there's 2 million people, and that right there is about 100,000 people that's innocent. You see where I'm coming from? So what happens is this. You know, whenever you have a serious crime, you have some authorities that feel like there has to be an arrest. And they will get an arrest by any means necessary. And you may not have nothing to do with it. And they may find out that you had nothing to do with it. But if you're black or if you're just poor, because you could be from another race, but if you're poor, then guess what? They're going to sweep it under the rug. They're going to protect each other because they fear public embarrassment. They don't have to go to public and say, hey, we made a wrong decision here. We made a bad mistake. You know what I'm saying? So now they start manufacturing the case. They start making witnesses lie. They start going to people that got felonies and telling them, hey, say that this guy did this. This is real. This happens every day.
You really changed my life too, because we are human and stuff like that, and we all have like our demons we battling, and I be battling just with the fact that I'm the last man in my family out of the men that I grew up with. So, because everybody else died. My brother died. My stepfather died. Yeah, thank you. And it'd be tough. It really be tough because I'll be around women, my mom and my sister and stuff like that. So everybody.
Well, you ain't got to tell me that. Let me tell you something. I got 7 aunts.
Ooh.
My grandmother had 8 kids, 7 girls, 1 boy. My uncle died when I was in prison. So imagine this. Imagine I'm really the only man in the family that cares. I'm the only man that's going to go out his way, you know, and take care of all the women. You know, before my grandmother died, I stayed with her to take care of her. I had came home. She was 92. I had to change that woman's diapers. You know what I'm saying? I had to go get her medications. I had to do all of that stuff. And right now, I'm taking care of my mother. My mother has Alzheimer's. She lives with me. I take care of her full time. I do an interview. You see, I just ran in the house and gave her medication. You know, she's sitting in there. I'm going headed home right now. I can leave her for about 2 hours. She's good. I got cameras everywhere. But yeah, she has Alzheimer's. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not crying over that. You know, she uses the bathroom on herself because she don't know what's going on. I gotta clean that up. I gotta give her her insulin. I gotta feed her. She don't know how to use a microwave. She don't know how to do nothing for herself. All this happened in the last couple years, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I had 2 died since I've been home. I used to go get their medications. I used to go grocery shopping for them. I'm doing all this in the midst of me doing 100 interviews and drawing pictures and doing speakings and stuff. Because I find time to do what's important. Like, people don't have time nowadays. They too busy doing a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you prioritize, then you can help. You can do more than you ever imagined you could do.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, man. And it just hearing you say that, man, it just really gives me just that fire
Yeah,
inside, just like everything
yeah,
gonna be okay and this and that. Because I used to just feel like I was alone, and I could
right,
just
right,
be around a whole bunch of people that
yeah,
is just loving, is caring,
yeah,
this and that. But it was just
yeah,
always going to be like that emptiness and
right.
stuff. But I just applied it into just doing something constructive and
Well,
productive and
I'm gonna say this, like, it's lonely at the top, and what I mean by that is this: when you think a certain way, when you think outside the box, when you're original and you're not trying to be someone else, then it's gonna be lonely. It's gonna feel lonely. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? But God is always gonna send you that one person or maybe two people that's gonna let you know that you're not by yourself. We don't need a whole bunch of friends. We don't need a whole bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? We're here to help people, but we don't need them to comfort us. We got God for that.
absolutely.
So I hope that I was able to touch somebody's life tonight, even if it's just one person. And, all the people that joined in or listened in, and thanks a lot, for listening. You know, that's it. I'm grateful for you guys. And
Man, no
I'm
problem.
grateful. And I'm grateful for you for having me, for bringing me on. A lot of
Man, no
people don't think.
problem.
Yeah, I know when you reached out, you was like, "This dude ain't about to do no interview with me," but I'm gonna reach out anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
nah,
I believed it. I believed it, man, and
yeah.
because it
I'm
was just
real,
too
bro.
much.
I'm
Yeah,
real, bro. Tomorrow I could do an interview for HBO. You know what I'm saying? And then I could do an interview for somebody that got a podcast that nobody don't know. It's like, okay, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, at the end of the day, it's about not how many people reach, it's who you reach.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And who needs to hear the message? Who needs to hear this message tonight? That's what it's about. So I give up myself. I'm not too important to get on the podcast with anybody, especially if I think their platform is good. You know what I'm saying? And they got a good message, and they're a good person. They got a good heart. When I talk to you, I say, "Oh, this dude he got a good heart. This dude is a good dude." So yeah, we're gonna do it. If I thought you was an asshole, I'd be like, "Nah, man, I'm tied up. I can't do the interview. Sorry about that." You know what I'm saying? Like, you got some people that just they doing stuff out here, and they ain't right, and then they want us to get you on their show. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. But it was a pleasure. It was definitely a pleasure to be on your show.
Man, no problem, man. And even after this, man, like I will always be around, or I just want to be able to meet you in person because I don't know if I told you, but I'm a giant in real life.
Right.
6'5"
Oh,
and
wow, wow,
everything.
wow. Yeah, I'm a little dude. I'm 5'8". You know what I'm
Really?
saying? That's cool. I always wanted to be big and tall, man. I envy you
Hey,
with that size, man. You know what
hey,
I'm
man,
saying?
it's crazy because everybody just think like you just so type of bully and you
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
but I'm
Nah.
so cool, man. I'm chill,
Right.
man, and I just love it. I
Well,
love
most of
people,
the
and
time, guys that's big like that is big teddy bears. You know
yeah,
what
that's
I'm
what I
saying?
am.
And they ain't trying to bully nobody or nothing. Now, don't try to bully them, because you got some people that be stupid enough to think that they can bully you.
Oh,
You know what I'm
oh
saying?
yeah, they be
Yeah, you gonna
trying,
get
bro.
yeah, you're gonna get that, and then, like, and I know it take a lot to take you there, but goddamn it, so I feel for whoever take you there. I could just see right there. I could see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy because I went to Job Corps
Right,
in St. Louis, Missouri.
right,
So I was always fighting and stuff like that. I
right,
never was
right.
the aggressor,
Yeah,
but I was
yeah,
the person that was just defending myself because I was just
right.
there because I
I
was
believe it.
homeless and
I
stuff like
believe it.
that. So I
Yeah,
needed,
people want to crack
yeah,
jokes. They want to say stuff. They want to make you feel like you ain't good enough. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like you won't measure up to them and all that nonsense. You know, I mean, that's the way of the world. But you need that though, because that's what's gonna build character. See, you can't just have a smooth ride. You gotta have some friction. You gotta have some bumps in the road. You gotta have forks in the. You gotta go through that, because like if everything is just all right, then how would you appreciate happiness? You can't. You
no,
can't appreciate happiness unless you go through the fire. You know, and for the fire is different for all of us. It's a different type of fire. You know,
hmm
you can't pinpoint what it's gonna be. You know, you just can't.
yeah, yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
It's just talking to you and just hearing from you, man. It just lets me know and gives me confirmation that everything gonna be all right.
Yes, definitely. So let me ask you this. So, all right, I'm about to go, but I want to know this interview. Can you send me the link and make me a copy of it
Yeah,
and send it to
absolutely.
me?
Yeah,
Send me the
absolutely. I'm
link.
going.
Cause I want to send this to some people. I ain't gonna say their names. I can tell you one person's name. No, I can't say it. I can't say it. I got so
I got you.
I want to send this interview. I think this is a good interview. I think they need to hear this interview.
Yeah, I got you, man.
All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Do me.
edit and everything.
Yeah.
I got you.
Edit it. Do me a favor. Edit it and then send it to me. Don't take out the good stuff. Now, a lot of times people edit and they take out the good stuff.
No, I'm leaving everything.
Yeah. Don't take out the good stuff.
No, sir. No,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Cool. And maybe we do this again. Maybe the response is great, and we can do it again.
Of course.
You
Anytime.
know, because we could talk about any and everything. It don't just have to be my story or whatever. You know,
Yeah, no problem.
next time it might be a message to the youth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man, coming
Yeah,
by and you
yeah.
take care.
You take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay. All
Okay,
right.
man.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
Peace.
Okay. Bye.